Well, guys, in this video I'm going to teach you how to remove the Audi A3 dashboard for those who are interested in replacing the dashboard with a digital one. Okay. So this video is just teaching you how to remove the dashboard, how to take the dashboard off and replace it with a non-pointer dashboard, the famous virtual cockpit digital dashboard. Okay. So here I'm going to show you how to disassemble it. Basically, what you're going to need is a plastic wrench to remove the bottom trim. You're going to need a wrench like this one, preferably a ratchet wrench, right? Size 8 mm, okay? Its opening is 8 mm because we have two 8 mm screws located here on the bottom, which are these screws here. Look, okay. So these are 8 mm screws, there are only two. It's very easy to remove. That's what we're going to do. We're going to fit this plastic wrench here on the top part and release it here on the top part, right? So we insert it here and pull it from both sides, right? This finish, if it's difficult, you'll insert the key from the bottom part here. Look, from this bottom part and pull it, okay? Because it only has two clips here. Remember that the steering wheel has to be all the way forward and all the way down, okay? So we can do this process here. In this area where I'm showing you here, that's where the two screws will be, okay? There's a screw on one end, on one tab, and a screw on the other tab in the corner. These are these two screws here. I've already removed them to make it easier in the video, okay? There are two small screws here. They're 8 mm in size. In order to release them, you'll need this key so you can access them, right? And be able to, unscrew them there. And after that, it's very simple, right? The dashboard, it comes out. So we grab the bottom area here and pull it forward so we can remove it from inside here, okay? I had already disassembled mine to show you how easy it is, okay? To make a quicker video. When you remove it here, it comes out. It's very easy to remove. This one here is the back area, okay? Yes, I already left the wire disconnected. It's this plug here. So, one of the things that you can see that is different is that analog panels only use one wire, okay? Digital panels use 2 or 3 cables, right? So they are plugs, so they are not 100% plug and play. Buy an adapter that turns this plug here into more than one plug, okay? So that it works. This one here is the internal space and I'm going to show you here, right? The back of the screen, look. Let me open it here, then I can show you better. Let's go. This one here is the back of the panel. As you can see, you can even use it as a reference, right, for digital panels. You'll see that it only has a single input in the corner, okay? It doesn't have multiple inputs, it only has one input. The digital panels have more than one input. So, this one here is the original panel of the Audi A3 2016, in the case of my car, okay? Sometimes people want to replace this acrylic because it's already quite scratched, because we take it to a car wash and car washes end up scratching the entire acrylic. So you can replace it, right, just this acrylic. It has the little locks here on the side so you can release it and replace only this acrylic with acrylic that isn't all scratched, right? So this one here is the panel, very simple to remove, very simple to put back. This one here is the plug, it's a single plug, you'll notice. I'm going to put images of the digital panels here in the video so you can see that it's not a single plug. In fact, the plug isn't even the same. And now I'm going to put the panel back together so you can see how it's assembled, okay? So let's go, let's put it back together here. So, the first important thing we have to do, right? The most important thing is to put the plug back in, right? Here, so let me see which side it fits on. This part is the most annoying part because it involves more of the tactile area than actually having the feeling of the thing. So we fit it here in the corner. It fit all the way in, right? That little latch that when you push it jumps back. Well, guys, this is another video so you can see the dashboard in operation while driving the car. Now, many of you will ask me, I know it's one of the questions, that here in the middle isn't an Audi A3 that's showing. So, calm down, because the car's design is already being made so that it can be included there on the dashboard. Of course, this one here is the sport mode, right, the dashboard style, where when you go down, you can change the backgrounds there. Or the turn signal, as you can see flashing on the dashboard. When you use the turn signal, it shows on the dashboard the same as the original factory one. It's perfect for both sides. Look, it shows the turn signal alarm, but you can turn off this alarm that appears. I'm going to change the styles here so you can see. First, right, in each dashboard mode that you're seeing, for example, in this one I can change what I want here in the center of the dashboard, okay. So I'm going to change it here. It would be like the audio part, right? Which song did I leave playing? It will show the album art. Here it will show the car's specifications. Down there, I'll show it to you as soon as I stop here at the traffic light. Down here it's showing the battery voltage in real time, as you can see, okay? So this is already in this automatic dashboard layout. Here the phone data, here the menu data that you can select, right, in the layout style, for example. We'll go over here. Here is the navigation system that you can select. And here you'll find the onboard computer data, right? So, if you want to see the distance traveled, kilometers per L, real-time fuel consumption, among many other functions, okay? I usually leave the kilometers per LRO here and here, right? Finally, we have the racing mode and here we have, right, the other menu here for you to make other selections here, right, dashboard information fun, update, pointer color, right, which you can customize, right, everything here, almost everything here is customizable, okay, guys. So, there are several cool options here for you to do and also Bluetooth, Wi-Fi connection, among many other options, right? The race mode here, if you want to leave it activated or not, among one. Now you're going to ask, okay, how do I put the GPS here in the middle? Well, you're going to go here to the navigation system. As you can see, you're going to open your cell phone and, obviously, you're going to go here on your cell phone, right, and you're going to mirror the cell phone screen directly onto the car's screen. So, I'm doing this now so I can show you, it's already mirrored. Now I can do it. I can put the A here in the middle of the screen. As you can see, the A is already here in the middle of the screen. I didn't put any address to go to because I know where I'm going, right? And then you're going to ask me, okay, but what does it look like in other layouts, okay? Here we can reduce it like the factory original and also increase the dials, okay? With one click. And now next, right, I'm going to change the dashboard style so you can see how it looks. So here we're going to have two options, okay? Here it will show you the style of the ttrs or 3 rupees. Here it will be, in this case, the GPS. And on this side here will be another function. So, look, we can click and change what we want to show on this side of the panel, see? We can make a change to what will appear on this side of the panel, since I kept the GPS. And we can also make changes to change the other side of the panel, right? In this case, change this side of the panel. Here we have the option, right, to change the menu on the opposite side. As I told you, look. I can change it here to whatever I want and I can also change here, look, the options that I wanted to show me here on the panel, see? You will also ask me, in this case, if it keeps the start-stop issue appearing on the screen, okay? So, I will show you here the start-stop issue also on the screen, which also gives the warning as original, okay? So that you can know. This one is one of the layouts where the entire screen is dedicated to the GPS or the video, right? This one is another type of layout. And now, look, that we're here, I'm going to show you here. When I press here to turn off the start-stop, it turns off the car. Do you see this STT that's appearing on the screen? It's from the start-stop. The engine is turned off. If I click here, it turns on the automatic, okay? I'm also going to change it here for you, so that you can see it on the original panel, in the original panel style, right? In this case, which is this one here, look. Here you have the digital speed plus the speed, right? The digital number plus the number on the needle and here the RPM. But if you want, you can change the information inside. So here I left it in kilometers per L since the car was started, and here is how much the tank has left to run. And if I tap again on this side here, it changes the information, right? Here it already starts to configure how much you're accelerating. So, since I'm stopped, it's showing here, right? Consumption and acceleration. And as I start driving, it will start showing a bar graph, right? Showing how much acceleration I'm getting, plus how much acceleration I'm getting, and also how much consumption the car is getting. Wait for the headlights to turn on. I'll show you right away how it's working, too. Except here, if I want to open maps here and leave maps on the screen too, it's also possible to leave maps on the screen there, look. You can see Google Maps scrolling in the middle of the screen, all nice and pretty. And here, as I told you, look, the graph that keeps moving nicely there of acceleration and consumption, right? So it makes this graph of how much you accelerate and how much you brake, right? With the consumption there, so you can have better or lower fuel consumption, right. In this case, I can put YouTube, Netflix, among many other options here. Here in the center, this E that it's showing is the gear engaged, right? So, since I'm in efficient mode, it shows E5. If I change to comfort, it will change to D. If I change to high, it stays in D, and if I change to dynamic, it changes to S, see? And if I accelerate, the graphics will speed up nicely. Right? Here it would be like a video playing, right? In this case, I left a copyright-free video to appear, but here it would be the full video playing, but it would be a little flattened and on the original screen of the dashboard, right, it would be too. And the audio of the video is playing on the screen, it will come out in the car's original sound. Okay guys, so the audio will always come out in the car's original sound. In this case, since I took my foot off the brake, right, to engage the gear, it always gives the warning to step on the brake, and then when I step on the brake, it gives the warning and lets it roll there. Well, as you can see, I can leave a video running in the middle of the screen, as is happening now. I can increase and decrease the dials, just like the original. I can also make changes there, right? Dashboard tiles, as I'll show you here as I go along, as you can see there, but the video in this format, which is the largest on the screen, is very stretched, so it's not so nice to watch. However, in this other format here, I think it's the perfect format for you to be able to see a video in the middle of the dashboard, guys. I think it's the perfect format that looks better there for you to be able to take a look at the dashboard system. The dashboard is interactive, right? So when you see this design, for example, of the RS3, of the TTRS, it shows, right, and the acceleration there on the dashboard. That little blue bar is how much you're pressing the pedal to accelerate here in the middle of the dashboard. That blue bar there that moves up and down, look, it means acceleration. Okay, guys? So, the more you accelerate, the more you press the accelerator, the more it rises there so that you can get an idea of it. And here it is progressive, right? As it gets closer to the maximum there, it increases until it starts to give that cool display. Well, basically these are all these options and functions here on the panel so that you can get to know the functions. If you have any more questions about the panel, leave them in the comments and I'll answer your questions, okay? It's a very complete panel, it works properly. Well, for now, right. I've only been testing it for a short time, so I can't say yet if it will cause any problems or not. I've already found some small defects that I'll talk about, right, on the panel, which are very small, and I believe that in a new update it should already solve these small defects on this panel that I'll leave for a next video, because this video here is already very long, so I'll leave it for a next video so that you can understand. I don't think anyone will stop buying the panel because of these small defects that I found, but I believe that it is possible to solve this problem using only software, right, without having to change any hardware. And here is this screen that you are asking me about here, which stays on this blue screen when you disconnect your cell phone, right, and then it shows this screen informing you that you can connect your cell phone there on the screen, right? So if you leave your cell phone, right, Samsung, Apple or Android, right, it connects automatically, but if you don't want it to connect automatically, that's also possible, okay? Yes, it can be connected via cable or via mirroring your own cell phone screen automatically, right, which already comes from the factory, so you can do it one way or the other. There are two options for you to do this mirroring, right? And you can also charge your cell phone while you are using it or not charge it, right? Yes, and you can mirror in the same way, okay, guys? So, it is not mandatory to have the cable connected so that it can do this mirroring process, right, of the panel so that you know, okay? So, it is not mandatory.